The following is a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.
Hey, Chris, I haven't heard that theme song for 3-4 months now.
It's good hearing.
It is. Hey, welcome, sports fans. Back at Arnie's Pizza for 3KG, the Coaches Kage show. One of our favorite things is our season kicks off tonight already. 24, 25 school year, ready to start. And, man, ready or not, huh, Chris?
We're here. You get out of school in May, and then next thing you know, June and July flies by, and you're back in school, and you're back here again eating good pizza and visiting with coaches and getting ready for another ball game. So time flies as you get older.
We don't have our chief, the sports king, tonight. He's on the shelf a little bit, so not good timing. But hey, you never know when you're going to get a little bit under the weather. So, anyways, you get a headset that works tonight on
Awesome.
both sides.
And we're definitely thinking of him.
There you go. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Yep.
We know he's watching and going to give us a little critique later tonight.
Yep.
So, Bobby, get well. But let's talk a little bit about Bomber football. How long you been at it? What's your summer schedule like? When's it start?
So once the season was over, give the kids time away, and they're kids, man. They got other things they do. So you got farm kids, you got kids that have jobs, you've got kids that participate in winter sports, spring sports, and all these different things. But then I would say somewhere after Christmas, we start getting back together and talking about some different things and getting in the weight room and training, and then we really get serious about it come springtime. And our June and July has been phenomenal. And my guess is you talk to all these coaches tonight, they're going to tell you the same thing. June and July, phenomenal. Kids get together and lift. They do speed training, agility type stuff, trying to put them in the best position to have successful seasons. And then another thing we do is practice. So we, unlike years ago, back when we were all in high school, and we had to cram everything in August, 3 practices a day. Now we can, do things in June and July and space it out. So, by the time we start in August, we've got our offense in, we've got our defense in. So just, implementing maybe a few more strategic things that we saw from the summer in scrimmages that we played throughout the state, and just timing things up and building, our chemistry, getting ready for that first game. And thus here we are, first game Friday night.
Talk about your scrimmage last week. You always start your season a week before the regular season kicks off with a scrimmage. And who'd you play and how'd you guys do?
Yeah, we played a very solid, very vastly improved Hanover Central team.
They were tough last year.
Oh, extremely tough. And, you go back, they just started football 11 years ago. You go up to their facility and at one time they're 1A, 2A, now they're 4A. Won their I think it's called Northern Crossroads Conference with Andrean, Kankakee Valley, and all them. Won that conference pretty handily, and had a tremendous season with a lot of key players back. So that was our scrimmage. We went up to their place, and I thought we did well. What we look for, number one, is we want to get out of no injuries. So we had that. Number two, we want to execute. So the things that we worked on all through June and July, early part of August, we want to make sure we execute correctly. And we want maximum effort. So we want guys flying to the ball, drive blocking through the whistle and doing all the things they need to do. So then we get that on film. We sit down and evaluate and look at all different players. And we do find things out in those scrimmages. Even though we do it June and July, we do find out a lot in that scrimmage against a great opponent like Hanover. So we thought it was very advantageous for us. We felt good about the scrimmage. And, again, the film doesn't lie. So we were able to see a lot of positives, some negatives, got those things cleaned up, hopefully. And hopefully it made us a better ball club by playing that scrimmage.
Coach, I want to get some stuff out of the way before. Can't forget this. I was looking at the coaches' records here in the state of Indiana, current coaches. You maybe, with an outstanding season, could crank 200 wins this year, but you are right now, you're the 18th winningest coach in the state of Indiana. That's current coaches. That's pretty darn good.
It means I'm old. I've been doing it a long time. And, so a couple of things there. Number one, been blessed with great coaches to work with. There's not much turnover in our coaching staff, and we all like working together and working with kids and even more importantly, great kids and great families. So we've been very blessed to work with great kids, great families, and had several great teams, and that all adds up over the years.
Coach, let's talk about last year's team real quick. 6-5. You started out the season. The Cracker Barrel was a thriller last year, a 28-27 win over KV. What did you guys accomplish? What kind of did you not get around to? And just give us a brief recap of last season.
I thought it was a very successful season for many reasons, but I think the most important thing was, we were young. And last 2 years we've been young. And, we were talking about that today, actually. When you go back to that Cracker Barrel game to start the season last year, we had 3 or 4 14-year-olds starting that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize
14-year-old kids. And,
Jeez, Pete.
Yeah. And, now they're a year older, a year stronger, a year more confident. So we had a lot of growing pains, but they weren't negative growing pains. We could see the kids growing each week against a super competitive schedule. Even though we got beat that last game against West Lafayette, we had a significant injury halfway through the second quarter. Adam Ayler got injured, our best lineman, two-way lineman, and really took the wind out of us. But at that time, we were up 7-0 on West Lafayette, and we had made them punt 3 times and was moving the ball effectively. So there was a lot of improvement last year. We play a lot of great teams in the Hoosier Conference and with our non-conference schedule. But, with 6 wins, that's nice. But the fact that we had such great improvement and, if the kids don't see the improvement, they're not likely to keep playing. I mean, kids want to have success.
Sure.
So they felt the improvement, and they felt us growing last year, and then that carried over in our off season, and that's where we're excited to get to our first ball game this year and start a new season.
You talked about the youngsters. How about key members of that team that have graduated now and you will not have anymore?
Yeah. Graham Drone was a two-way starter for us. He played offensive line, defensive line, and really did a lot of great things for us. 4-year member of our varsity football team. Adam Ayler, again, a two-way starter, played offensive and defensive lines, made the Region 4 All-Star team, which is great. Aaron Barco. Aaron played defensive back for us and played running back and was very good in the special teams. And Caden Rowland, kid that transferred over from North Newton and had an injury most of the year last year, but came back towards the end of the year and got to do some good things for us there. And then our kicker, Kyler Sigmund, he was a full-time soccer player. And then he would kick for us a couple times during the week and then on Friday nights. And he did some great things in the kicking department. So, yeah, we only had 5 seniors last year, but all of them were very, important to our team, and they'll be sorely missed. But another opportunity for other kids to step in and play on Friday nights.
We talked a little bit before we got on air here about your numbers out for the program this year. How many do you have, and who are some of the key guys coming back?
Yeah, we have 32 on our roster, and that's our school is shrinking in size. We used to be a school of about 550 kids. We're down to around 450 now,
and down to 2A in classification.
We're down 2A, and we're significantly down in 2A. I mean, we're not even close to moving into 3A. So that's where we are. But one of the things we say is, and I feel strongly about this, if I had to handpick 32 guys, I'd take every one of these guys. And, they think I kid around, and you know, if opportunity really happened, I feel strongly I would do this. But if someone offered me $1 million for my 32 football players, I'd keep my 32 football players.
Really? Wow.
Now, if that actually happened, I really think I would, man. I mean, we have a love for the team and all that stuff, but you know, these are good football players. These are guys that grind. They work together. They have great chemistry. And, you know, I use that analogy to just show, you know, what they mean to me, what they mean to our coaching staff and our community and stuff. And, you know, that's the way they practice. That's the way they hang out together. You know, we go to team camp together, and we really bond there. It's a tight-knit group, but they've got each other's back. So, you know, if you get the right 32 out there, and you know, in reality, it's 11 on the field at a time, but we know it takes more than 11. You know, we like the chemistry. We like the young men that they've become, the team that they've become. And now it's time for a test. And Friday night against Kankakee Valley is our first test.
We'll be there from Kankakee Valley, obviously, for the Cracker Barrel contest. And looking forward to that one. Coach, who are some of the guys that are going to have to step up, you know, right from the get-go for you guys to be successful?
Yeah. Well, we have 8 returning starters on offense, 8 returning starters on defense, and then several kids that have played special teams and you know, have spotted in on offense and defense. Our returning running back, Diego Hernandez-Reyes, he had a special –
familiar name.
Yeah, had a special year last year. Had 1,700 yards rushing, 24 touchdowns, had several receptions. So he's a kid we can throw to out of the backfield. You know, he'll be big in our return game this year. So we're relying on him heavily. He'll be a senior. Carter Ogborn, he's a young man that spotted in a lot for Diego at times last year when we wanted to give Diego a breather. And last year he rushed for just under 300 yards. He will be starting at our wing position. And what that does, number one, it gives us a kid with a lot of speed. It gives us a kid with some experience. But you're also looking at a 185, 190-pound wing back that can block the edge for us or, you know, run the ball effectively when we need to. He averaged 8.3 yards per carry when he was in there last year.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, our 2 tight ends are back. Both of them were very athletic last year. Both of them were playmakers, but even more so this year. And that's Caden Doyle. He averaged 13.3 yards per catch last year, and Landon Mush averaged 23 yards per catch. And what you're going to find is
a good number for tight ends. Wow.
And what we found this summer, and I'm sure we're going to see as the season goes on, is teams are going to load up on our offense and attack, you know, Diego, try to stop him and make us beat them with something else. And we feel like we've got 2 very good tight ends that are athletic, can get down the field and stretch defenses and so on. And they're both great blockers. And then our quarterback, Cohen Westfall, he's a junior. First year playing varsity last year. He threw for 727 yards last year, 8 touchdowns, and he will be relied on more heavily in the passing game. Obviously, we're going to run the ball, but we will throw the ball to our athletes in space. Beck Drone's another one that got several reps this summer and has looked well at the quarterback position. All right, so you know, he might get some time in there as well. And then our offensive line. I think if there's a biggest improvement, knowing all these kids were coming back, it's our offensive line. We're a lot stronger. We're very athletic. You know, there's a lot of confidence in our offensive line. You got Ryan Kellner, 6 foot 210, 3-year starter. He could play center or guard. You got Holden Day, started as a 14-year-old freshman last year, 6 foot, 295 pounds, and my gosh, he has improved tremendously. Dyson Henderson, he's a kid that was on the JV last year, made a huge impact on JV, but wasn't quite ready for varsity, has lived in the weight room. He's 6'4", 235, and strong as an ox. And, you know, he'll anchor one of the tackle positions. Another starter, Eli Dixon, 5'9", 210, had a great season last year on the offensive line. Logan Metzger, he played fullback for us last year, but also you might see him on the offensive line this year. So we got the option of playing him at guard or fullback, depending on what we choose to do. And then Parker Northcutt, he's right now he's playing some center for us. He's 5'8", 205, and had a great summer. So he's earned the right to get some playing time on Friday nights at the center position. So we have a lot of depth there at the offensive line and a lot of quality, and we look forward to what they can do on Friday nights.
Sounds like you have some stout players, too, and those guys aren't exactly small.
Yep, I agree. And that's the offensive side. Defensively, we've got a lot back, but you've got Metzger, Diego Hernandez, Kellner all back at linebackers, Doyle, Ogborn, Dixon all back at defensive line, and then Landon Mush, again a 14-year-old starter last year at safety. He's back, and he's grown and gotten a lot bigger and had a great baseball season, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do in the secondary. Cason Shanley, Donnie Sellers, Chris Crouch. So a lot of guys that we look forward to seeing play and see what they can do this year. Oh, we always forget the kicking.
Oh, yeah. Don't forget that.
Yeah, John Yallely. John's a sophomore. He's a big, strong kid and went to camps this summer and has really worked at it, and he'll handle our punts and kicks, and he's looked very good doing that. So, as you can tell, we're excited.
I bet. Coach, you hit on the Hoosier Conference just real briefly. Is that switching the alignment to that big school, small school divisions this year?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. You've got you go to Hamilton Heights, you go to Western, you go to we've added Logansport now. Those are some big schools in there, and then you've got schools like Rensselaer, which we've been declining in enrollment a little bit. Central Catholic, obviously, they get a lot of athletes, and Benton Central. So we're going to be in the small school division, and Tipton, another one very similar to us. So we'll have a 3-game small school division, but then again, we're going to cross over and we're going to play West Lafayette from the big school division and Logansport from the big school division. So we're not avoiding the big school division altogether, but we are going to try the 2-division thing and see how that works.
Along with being now 2A, you'd be in a little different sectional field, and it's still going to be up north with a lot of guys here, but still some tough opponents, although Andrian was down last year. We always know what the 59ers are like, and Boone Grove had an 8-3 season last year. Bremen was 6-6, Wheeler 6-4. So some tough schools you're going to have to face.
It's an extremely tough sectional, but it's a sectional we belong in. The sectional that we were in with West Lafayette and some of those schools, we're not that size, and this is where we belong. So these are schools similar to us. I'll tell you what, when you look at the cast of characters coming back, a lot of them have great returning quarterbacks, several guys that have thrown for over 2,000 yards, and some great athletes. So it's a very challenging sectional. It's a winnable sectional, but we're all in the same time zone, and it's just schools comparable to us. So I think it's a very good thing.
Coach, appreciate you coming out here for our opening night, and wish you a lot of luck on Friday. We are really looking forward to that one. It'll be fun up there at KV.
Yeah, one thing I just want to mention, I try to mention this every year, but the Rensselaer-KV rivalry I think is very special from the standpoint, it's the first game of the year, and now they're doing it in basketball, which I think is great. It's two communities that it's not negative vibes. So you don't have the unsportsmanlike flags or any stupid stuff amongst the communities. Both communities get out. They really support the game. They support the athletes, and the coaching staffs get along great. And I think it's just a great way to start the season. The fact that we play for a barrel is cool, and one of the things I really like as a coach is seeing how both, whether it's at Rensselaer or Wheatfield, how both schools and communities come out en masse. Place will be packed, and it's a great way to get the season started, and we look forward to it.
I second that by so huge. I remember last year, as tight as that game was and close at that where guys shake hands afterwards, you could tell a mutual respect from each program.
And that's the way it should be, and I think that says a lot about the administrations from both schools and the communities. So, it's a great rivalry, and that's the way it should be. It's a clean rivalry, and but I will tell you, both teams are going to get at it for 48 minutes, so it'll be fun.
We'll see you Friday night.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Coach Chris Meeks of the Rensselaer Bombers. We'll come back with more, and in fact, it'll be South Newton coach Brad Beavis jumping in here with us as we continue on with the Coaches Kage Show, live from Arnie's Pizza.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals, increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com.
At Applegate Seed House, we specialize in any and all small seed project needs. This includes government programs, CRP, pollinators and waterways, pasture mixes, and new lawn seed. Applegate Seed House is located 2 miles north of Brook, Indiana, and 2.5 miles east of Highway 41. Call Sam at 765-363-3113. That's Sam at Applegate Seed House, 765-363-3113.
Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman has been serving the Jasper County and surrounding area since 2009. Being involved in the area, Joe Goodeman has kept his interest in making sure he provides the best insurance for his clients. Whether you need life, car, home, business, farm and crops, or even renter's insurance, Agent Joe Goodeman will keep searching for the best policy for your valued investments. Call Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Joe Goodeman at 219-866-4694 or stop in at 2570 North McKinley Avenue in Rensselaer.
Welcome back to Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer as we kick off our 2024 football season here in the high school year. And this is Bill Kay with Scotty Miller on the 3KG team taking you through tonight. And we've got a full slate of coaches. Guys arrived a little bit late, but man, then all of a sudden everybody came at the same time, it seemed like today. So
well, it's kind of our first outing too, so we're getting our feel for it and getting our order peck going here. So
all right. Well, Coach, you guys at South Newton 4-7. You know, you've had some better seasons than that recently, but not bad. You won a sectional game. Really, took care of Bowman without any doubt. Judson was tough in the round 2, but you had some really nice wins. A big win over North Newton. I'm sure that one kind of stands out. Tell us a little bit about your, last year's season and some of the key players that have graduated off that team.
Yeah, we 4-7 it's not bad. It's not what you'd strive for, but there's a lot of teams that would take 4 wins, and we had a couple games. I feel like the Tri-County game and the Frontier game that we competed in, and we had leads at halftime, and just didn't quite finish them off. The Frontier game was in that rain monsoon, and we went to overtime, and they won on a 2-point conversion, so we were right there with that. And so there were some highlights there. We lost some linemen, lost some backfield guys. Evan Krug's going to be a big loss for us statistic wise. Quarterback in the last 2 years and contributing in the years before that at the receiver position. Tommy Casa on the outside, we lost. He was, a guy that didn't catch a lot of passes, a lot of yards, but he came up big when we needed him to in the Tri-County game and kept us in that one. So guys like that, we're going to miss. And I think the biggest thing is we've had experience coming back the last 2 years. We got guys coming back with experience, but not nearly the quantity that we've had. So, 2 years ago we brought back, we had a lot of linemen. And last year we brought back some skilled guys with experience, and now we're kind of got a little bit of mixture of both, but just it's not in the quantity. And our numbers were kind of low to start off with, so that kind of hurt as far as taking a big step forward with that experience. So we got a lot of young guys that are just going to have to contribute, and that's kind of the fun of coaching and kind of the pain of coaching.
They're going to get their feet wet this Friday on the road. You'll take on Lake Station. You hammered them last year in the opener. At home, 46-0. What are you expecting from your squad? Are they ready to go? And traveling up to Lake Station, that's a long trip, right? Is that bad for having an opener?
Well, we've had a lot of experience of that trip. It seems like we played up there about 5 times in the last 5 years.
Oh, really?
We played them in sectionals and stuff, and we had the way our schedule was moving around there for a while. We wanted to keep them on the schedule because it's a really good matchup for both schools, and it just kept on as it got moved throughout the schedule. It kept on getting put up there. So I feel like we went up there multiple years in a row, kind of like the Covington game. This is the first time they've come here in a while.
Sure.
They're back here. So the trip I don't worry about too much. It's really not that far away when you get down to it. You get on 65 and kind of go, and we're there. We're even our longest trip of the year. But they're split back veer this year under center, which is going to be a little bit different look. Same coach, just looks like he's trying something a little different philosophy-wise. Looks like they have some big kids up front, so that's kind of concerning. We're not the biggest lineman group ever, but they've always got some athletes up there. It seems like it's just about containing them. So last couple times we've played them, we've done a really good job of containing those athletes and playing hard and coming out with wins. But it's always a scary thing because they're kind of like us, where you don't quite know what you're going to get that first week because of the type of kids you got. So. Anyways, we think we have a good game plan for them this week. We're down to only about 15 kids on our active roster. We picked up 7 kids from last Thursday through this Monday on our roster, which is good but frustrating because they're not eligible, and we're reteaching a lot of things because they weren't here in the summer, obviously. So our numbers will be up here in week 2, week 3, which will really help us out in those positions on that. We went from basically having no DBs and no really receivers to we got a lot of them now. All the kids that came out were kind of basketball-type kids and kind of athletes like that. So it kind of changed the makeup of our team from what we thought we were going to be in the first week or so. So as a coaching staff, we've had to move some things around and get ready for week 1, but also plan what we can do in the future. So that's been a little difficult too. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to really totally expect from Lake Station, but I don't really know what to expect from us either. So it's going to kind of be one of those games where we just hope we've prepared our kids to play fast and hard and make some plays when we need to.
Brad, who are some of the names that we'll be looking for, especially starting early here with your squad? Who are the guys you're going to count on?
Yeah, I think for us this year, it's going to really start up front. We got 3 seniors that are going to be playing, 4 seniors that are going to be playing on our offensive line. One's kind of we put it back at a sniffer back, or whatever you want to call it, there too every once in a while. But David Van Wienen, Caden Martin, Alex Toigo are all 3-year starters for us. We're getting ready to start for their 4th year. And then Aiden Maddox is coming back after taking a year off. He played as a sophomore a little bit. Didn't get a super bunch of time, but he was in there. He got some varsity time. But those 4 guys are going to be a core, I think, to what we do. If we can get that offensive line along with our blocking back in sync and working as a group, I think we're going to be able to do some things. In the backfield, we've been working a couple different quarterbacks. We've got Lucas Boguski also coming back as a senior, 3-year starter, kind of moving over from a slot and running back position to kind of fill that role sometimes for us at quarterback. He's a fast kid. He always does well in the 100 and the conference, and just a great kid, academic kid too. But Lyle Harrington, as a sophomore, is taking some reps at quarterback too. We're going to kind of do a 2-quarterback system, which doesn't always work the best, but we feel that's what's best for our team with the skill set we have and all that kind of stuff. So, those guys there. Then we got R.J. Bucku that's returning at running back, who as a freshman played a lot on defense, made a big impact on defense, and we're trying to get him to start making an impact on offense. And then Marshall Kuntz on the outside at receiver. is coming back. He started a lot last year, got a lot of playing time in on offense, so he'll be asked to kind of lead that receiving core. And then we just got some guys right now kind of sprinkled in there, that hopefully can make a difference, hopefully can jump on board and learn what they're supposed to do and start contributing. But like right now, it's just really
trying to get
everybody in sync. But those are kind of the kind of main pieces on offense, and those same main pieces on defense. A lot of guys are going to be going both ways here for at least the first week. Hopefully next week we can start to maybe put some kids that maybe can excel more on defense. I'm going to concentrate on that, and and get some guys on offense that can maybe do that and kind of split that up a little bit. But right now it's 15 kids. You're playing both ways.
Well, we hope you stay healthy, that's for sure.
That
is key.
You always cross your finger. The good thing is it doesn't sound like it's going to be too hot Friday night at least. So hopefully we've done just enough conditioning, get our kids, nutrition-wise, hopefully done the right things and keep them hydrated. And if you play hard and keep yourself moving, you're not going to get injured. It's when you start stopping or and stand around, that's kind of when that things happen. So just got our fingers crossed it doesn't happen for us.
Brad, any other changes on the schedule?
Well, the big change this year is we've added Benton Central, and we played Traders Point for a couple years, and then last year we had to go and play Fisher, Illinois, because Traders Point went down to 8-man football, and we were lucky enough with the other conference change around us to get Benton Central on our schedule. So that's a border school. It's another rivalry. So now
from way back, isn't it?
From way back. So we played them from 68 to 72. We're split 2-2 currently.
My goodness.
But we haven't played since 72.
Back to 72.
So, I think it's good for our community. We scrimmaged them for several years, and it was always a great environment. But now we're kind of closed in. We got Benton Central to the south. We got Tri-County to the east, and we got North Newton to the north. So district-wise, we got all three rivalry games now in Indiana that we can play. So I think it's kind of unique. Because we haven't played them in so long, but it's just on a field where we have those three rivalry games now that, you can have a cousin you're playing against, you have, maybe another family members live in that district, or maybe somebody works in Fowler and, whatever. So, you're going to have those community ties, which I think just helps from a coaching standpoint. It makes it easier to get them up because they're excited to play. It's not something they don't know.
Right.
And I think we all know it's just like playing cards or playing board games on Thanksgiving, whatever, or Christmas with your family. You don't want to lose. So anytime you can get something close to that family tie to it, I think it's easier for us to get them fired up because they don't want to lose the family.
There you go. Coach, how about talk a little bit about the sectional?
I'd rather not.
Well, when you look at LaVille sitting up there at 11-2 last year, and then Judson coming back with a 9-win team.
Yep.
So that's going to make it tough. But you got some teams
sectional
that you can compete against for sure. I guess a lot's going to depend on draw and all that good stuff.
Yeah, lots of depend on draw. It always does. And teams go up and down every year to year. But we played Judson last year in the sectional, and we played pretty well. It's probably one of our better defensive games we played. We created 3 turnovers and kept the game close through halftime. But they're a very talented team and very physical team, and they just kind of outlasted us in that game. They clearly beat us. But I thought our kids' effort, and especially, like I said, the defensive effort was amazing. So, we might draw one of those tough teams, but that's just how it's set up, and that's how you got to play it. But we got our teams in there that, depending on how our season pans out, we should be able to compete with. And like I said, maybe you can get on the opposite side of the bracket and get a few wins and find your way into a championship game. You never know. So, but it's definitely tough. But the next one over is pretty tough too.
That's true.
With something with Windmac and Carroll and schools like that.
Yeah.
Moving in, so there's not really an easy one, really. So I don't know which one you want to be in. I'd choose the one that doesn't have any of them, really.
All right, Coach. Well, we appreciate you coming by as we look forward to starting the season off. Good luck at Lake Station, and we'll talk to you next week. You're going to have maybe a little bit of a different team next week, so more bodies at least.
Well, so. I think we'll have I counted up. I'll have 7 or 8 kids on the sideline in street clothes.
Wow!
And we won't have that many in dress and uniform as subs, so that's going to be a little unique to turn around. So.
All right. Well, good luck, and I'm sure you guys will do fine.
Thank you.
All right, Coach Brad Beavis of the South Newton Rebels. We'll come back with more on 3KGTheCage.com, our Coaches Kage show, live from Arnie's Pizza in Rensselaer.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Your sign is your image, and at Designs by Cindy, we take pride in making you look your best. We pride ourselves in our wide range of custom products and services. Our ability to understand your needs and deliver exactly what you're looking for is what sets us apart. We're your one-stop for all your signage needs. Check out our website at designsbycindy.com or give us a call at Designs by Cindy at 219-819-8786.
Welcome back to Arnie's Pizza, the weekly Coaches Kage show kicking off tonight. Bill Kay and Scotty Miller here with you. And joining us now, Tri-County coach Jake West. Jake, let's jumping right into your third season already, man.
Yeah.
It seems
goes
like
fast.
it just seems like yesterday that you were the new kid on the block, not anymore.
Getting older.
How about that? We all are.
Got a
buddy.
bald spot for him. Age catches up to you.
Coming off a winning season, that's always got to make you feel good. A 5-4 record last year.
Yeah.
Let's revisit last year's season just real quickly. Talk about some of the key players that have graduated now. And
well, we only had two.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had two
just
seniors.
Two seniors. Man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, Kobe Baylor. He's hard to replace. He's been a mainstay in Tri-County athletics for the last 4 years. So he graduated, and we had a move-in. So we actually had one original football senior. We had a move-in from Twin Lakes, Anthony McFadden, who they both did a tremendous job for us last year. Between leadership and just being able to fill in roles and do stuff like that, you can't replace those guys. And the guys that are stepping into their shoes, I told them beginning of the year, don't try to beat them, beat you. Because if you hold yourself to what they did as seniors, it's your first, you're going to make yourself furious. So just be you. And so the kids that we've had step up and kind of fill in some of those roles have done a great job, and I'm very proud of them. So
Kobe was your quarterback, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was telling some of this. I was blessed to have him as my first quarterback as a head coach and offensive coordinator, because he was like Captain America. He'd make a mistake, and he would or not he wouldn't make a mistake, but someone else would. And he would be the one who took the blame.
Mm-hmm.
And so kids want to play for a guy like that.
Sure.
And so it was always cool watching him. He would throw a pass and maybe it would get dropped or something. And he'd be like, "Hey, that was my fault." And the kid knows, okay, no, that wasn't your fault. That was on me, but I appreciate you. And so now that kid blocks for him that much harder, and he lays his body on the line to help block, so Kobe can go get a first down, whatever it is. And then on the back end, he ran the defense. He called the secondary from safety. We kind of joke like on defense, Lucy has the general game plan in place, and he'll call something, but the defense has the entire autonomy to change it on the field. So he could not call a play. We run literally the entire game. It could be that way. So we try to give ownership of it to the kids, and they take pride in it. And like today, it was funny. I'm listening. I'm in the back end of practice, and they're communicating what the play is, and like defensive coordinator calls something. Everyone's communicating. They're changing. Hey, they've got this look. Let's do this. And I'm just like, this is awesome.
That's cool.
So,
Coach, you open up again.
Covington. Yep. This time we're at home.
Yeah, at home, and
I don't miss that drive.
You have a nice 5 home games this year, so that's a nice schedule. And,
Yep.
Covington game last year took it on the chin, so you owe them one.
Yeah, so that game, the score isn't indicative of how close it was. We had like 3 opportunities to score in the first half, and like I'm talking in the red zone, either we threw a pass and it was dropped. We had one that was caught and they called it incomplete, and like our photographer got a picture of it and it was very clearly a completion in the end zone. But okay, whatever. They said he was out of bounds and there was like a full foot between him and them. I'm like, okay. So there was like 3 times we had a chance to score, and we gifted them 2 scores in the first half because we had a bad snap on a punt went over his head. It was actually funny when I talked to the long snapper after that. He goes, right before he's like, my hands were kind of sweaty. I thought about wiping them off, but I decided not to. I'm like, next time wipe them off. next time wipe them off. So we snap it over the punter's head. So they take over their, I think their like second drive at like the 3-yard line. They score on 2 plays or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then they throw a jump ball, and it just the way it kind of came down, like our guy went up and competed for it, and he accidentally pushed the receiver downfield.
Oh, no.
So the guy catches it, and then he hits the ground, and they're both on their feet, and now he's in front of him instead of behind him.
Uh-oh.
And so it's off to the races, and it's just like it was a sophomore making a mistake, and it happens.
Yeah.
So it was like 20, I think it was 20-0, and then finally we kind of figured it out in the second half. We started to establish the run a little bit. It was just too little, too late. They're a good team though. They're a good team. I'll give them their props.
Well, this year, how many players you got out, and who do you expect to be the guys you're going to have to count on right out of the gates here?
Well, we have low 30s out. 31, I think, is what we have.
Awesome.
That is awesome. I'm very happy with it. We're trying to build the program. Last year, our numbers were a little down because we had 2 seniors. So we have one class of 2. That makes life a little difficult. So now we're trying to get some size in each class. So we're sitting low 30s. As for like key players, we've got Jonathan Pearson. Obviously, like we run with him.
That's a familiar name.
Yeah, he steady diet of him. That's on the docket for most teams. He does a great job for us. It's actually funny. Like sometimes he starts running and you just the offense feeds off him. Like the O-line feeds off of him doing stuff. And his backfield mate, Gabe Sanders, is our fullback. I've never met a dude who more embodies what it is to be a fullback than Gabe Sanders. Like I called a play for him to get the ball today, and he was upset. He's like, if I get the ball, I'm not hitting someone. He's like, I don't want it. And I'm like, that's crazy, man. Like that's insane. That man takes pride in hitting people, and it's awesome. He does a great job for us.
That's an old-time fullback.
Dude, I love that kid. He will run through a brick wall for you. And then our O-line does a great job. They're all 3-4 year starters basically. So
that's
it's like
nice.
It's all like Colby Hathaway. I think started as a freshman, and he's a senior, and he's a captain now, and he's starting. Ephraim Bowles, I don't know if he started as a freshman. He started for me as a sophomore, so now he's going to be a 3rd-year starter. He's a captain. Lucas Idlewine, I don't know if he started as a freshman, but he's started for me for 2 years now, and so now he's a senior. Sabre Province, we're getting him back from an injury in the offseason. He accidentally fell. He's rehabbing that. He should be back middle of the season, but he'll be a 3-year starter for me when he gets back. So it's just like there's experience all over the place, because we started with that group of sophomores basically and freshmen, and now they're juniors and seniors.
How important is that to have those kind of guys on your offensive line?
It's so important, right? Like it's we being able to lean on them and them take ownership and communicate. Like they're communicating too, So now they have a call to do this or a call to do that, a call to say, hey, I'm getting him, whatever it is. So listen to them communicate in practice is awesome. And then watching them being able to take pride in doing their job to let everyone else on the offense work is awesome. So it's Ephraim and Colby have done a great job leading that group this year. They're way more vocal. They're way more confident in what they say. I'm incredibly proud of that whole group. We also have a 1st-year starter on there who's a junior, and Zach Bramlett, who's coming a long way. Elzar Aldez plays left tackle for us. He's a junior, so it's like just experience across the board.
Seems like if you have a good offensive line,
Makes life easy.
Yeah.
Makes life easy. Sometimes I look good at my job.
but they can, if you're doing good in the game, they can really dominate and hit them hard. If you're struggling, though, they can, help pull you out, keep you close.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, the
Yeah.
offensive line is always so important.
It was, and I think they started to take ownership of the offense last year because we went into the half. I don't remember if it was for Southland or Frontier. We went into the half, we were down. And the kids go in first. We meet as coaches. We talk. We get ready to make our adjustments. And we go in. And I'm going in. And I'm about to make adjustments. And Ephraim Bowles literally looks at me and he's like, "Don't you change a thing." Okay. he's like, we can feel them getting tired. Keep doing what we're doing and it'll work. And I'm just, yes,
All
sir.
right,
Yes,
all
sir.
right. Yeah, you guys are out
Say
there.
less. And sure enough, we ended up coming back and winning that game. And then it happened the very next week. I come in and he's just like, "Don't change anything. It's fine." All right. So I joke to the captains all the time, like, it's my program, but it's your team.
Your team.
And they take ownership of so much, and it's awesome. I sent them a text today about something I needed done, and all 5 of them walked down to my room during passing period to talk to me.
Wow.
And I'm just like, first one walked in, then 2 more. I'm like, where are you guys? It's all
pretty cool.
Whole party's in here. That's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
So we got some great kids.
Coach, who's taking Kobe's place behind under center this year?
So currently, to tell you how close the quarterback battle is, we decided on our starter for week 1 by flipping a coin.
Oh, really?
Literally, they were in the room. I was like, So Aiden Dunafin and Aiden Justice both have had great off seasons. They've done a great job. They both have different skill sets. And if one of them's not playing quarterback, then they'll be helping us elsewhere. But they've both been competing for the job, and they have a great control of the offense. They decision-making comes with experience, and so now they're getting starting quarterback experience. So that's getting better every day. They both have tremendous arms. They're well-put-together athletes. Dunafin's a little bit bigger. He's like 6'4", 215. And then Justice is a little bit smaller, but he's like his brothers. He's a little bit shiftier, a little bit faster. And so they do a good job, both of them. So yeah, I brought him in. And I was like, I don't know who's starting. Flip a coin. You call it. Heads, you're starting. Cool. So what they'll do is they'll get 2 drives, and then they'll go the other one 2 drives. Do that for the first 2 games, kind of see where we're at, and then maybe name a starter going forward. But no, they've both done a great job.
How about your defense? What are you looking for from there?
Well, our defense is it's bookended by our 2 DNs, Gabe Sanders and Kevin Martinez. Kevin's going to be helping us on offense a lot more this year, and he's taken ownership of his job on offense too, being another great athlete that we have. He's a freak of nature. It's insane. He's one of those guys. He shows up and just does stuff, and you show him to him one time, and suddenly he's good at it. I'm like, I don't know how you figured that out so fast. That's crazy.
I remember that name from the games we did.
Yeah, so he mainly played defense. It was funny. So we were playing North Newton last year, and we're getting up pretty big early. And I look at him, I go, "Do you want to run the ball?" He goes, "I don't know." Okay, fine. I guess not. Whatever. So now this year he's kind of taking ownership and helping out the offense and stuff like that. But defensively last year he set 2 school records, 1 for sacks and 1 for tackles for loss. And it's actually funny that we say that because Gabe Sanders now has the 3rd most sacks in a season and the 3rd most tackles for loss in a season. And so it's like we would be talking about him as being that guy, but someone else broke the record. So it's like It's crazy just how good those 2 are next to each other. And but their development has allowed Ephraim Bowles and Colby Hathaway and Elzar, and when Saber gets back in, their development interior-wise, it's a nightmare trying to watch, trying to block those guys in practice. It's a nightmare. They're so fast, they're so strong. I was talking to one of our coaches the other day, and I was like, we've done our job too well. They're good now. So no, watching that front just develop, those are probably 4 of our best players on defense, right there. And then of course behind them we have Jonathan Pearson, who's just he gets to stay free and just run. Replacing Kobe on the back end, we've moved Noah Pratt back there to safety. He's a senior with a lot of experience, and he started to take some of that ownership role. Aiden Dunafin is back there; he's taken some of that ownership role. So as a unit, not one person's going to replace Kobe and Anthony, but as a unit, they've done that, and that's impressive to see.
I remember Pearson was a tackling machine last year.
Yeah, and it was actually funny because we say that as we started getting to some of the games during the winning streak, his tackles went down. And it was funny. He wasn't upset, but he's like, I don't get to tackle anyone anymore. He's like, they keep doing it for me. They don't get to me.
Coach, you got any changes up in the schedule this year, or same? Same
pretty much schedule. We added Faith Christian because we had an opening because Traders Point dropped off.
Okay.
Faith Christian, I believe we're supposed to be. Yeah, we're home because they don't have a field yet, I think, or they're working on it, whatever. So I don't know much about them. I saw a little bit of them at the Jamboree.
They're not even competing in the Midwest Conference this year, are they?
I think they are, but they don't have a full slate.
Oh, okay.
I think they don't have a full slate, so that's why they're not up for conference, whatever. I think that's, I don't know. No one asked me my opinion on that, so okay. I just do what I'm told.
All right.
So I think that's why, because I think they only play like 3 conference games.
Got it. Sectional-wise, you're still in sectional 42. You've got some, of course, Carroll's in there. So
there are some traditional football powers in our conference.
Yeah.
But it's like, for me, I look at it and I get excited because it's like, well, what's the point of playing if you're not going to like shoot for something high, right? So
sure.
Carroll's really good at football. They've been really good for a while now.
And North White coming off a huge season.
North White's coming off a huge season. Pioneer is a traditional football power. Frontier, they're in the same boat as us. Yeah, they went 5-5 last year. They bring back the same amount of kids we do. So they got a great group. We saw them in the Jamboree. They look really good. Caston knocked off our conference champ last year, so they are obviously pretty good. I remember Winnemac I don't know what they've been recently, but I remember when I was in high school, they were really good. So, I haven't noticed what they've done, but so that's pretty much our entire conference is good, or not conference, sectional is pretty good.
Yep.
All right, well.
How about the conference, Midwest Conference? Who's the odds-on favorite this year going in?
I don't know. I've been told Frontier's the odds-on favorite, which they bring back a lot. They've got a lot of really good athletes. We have to go there and play them. But like our guys relish kind of being the underdog, and so we talked a lot about our kids have been the doormat for a lot of teams for the last few years. And they've worked for respect, and that's what they want. So they're not really happy with being picked to finish second. Like they're not fans of that. So we've got that kind of circled on our calendars, knowing that we have to play our best to get to that point and have a shot to play and win a conference title. Because that's week 7, so that's pretty much for the conference title right there.
Coach, it sounds like you got a lot of guys that are really chomping at the bit here to get going in the season.
Yeah, it's been pretty fun. I'm getting so I got started coaching on defense, and for me trying to learn I get to Tri-County my first year, and I was like, okay, who's coached offense before? No one raises their hand. I'm like, okay, I guess it's me now. So I've had to have a crash course the last few years, and sometimes Kobe and Jonathan make me look good at my job. It's rare, but it does happen. And so I've taken ownership of that, of trying to become better there. Lucy's done a great job with improving our defense and putting kids in positions to be successful and trying new things. So it's just all of us are chomping at the bit to get after it. So,
well, good luck on Friday, and you guys will take on Covington.
Mm-hmm.
And appreciate you coming out here, and
of course,
look forward to seeing you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
All right, Coach Jake West of the Tri-County Cavaliers. Stick with us. We'll take a quick time out and come back with more on 3KG, the Coaches Kage Show, live from Arnie's Pizza.
The place to go for great food is Our Place in Brook, located at 127 West Main Street. Our Place is a restaurant where families and friends in the local community gather and enjoy a home-cooked meal at an affordable price. Our menu features a wide variety of dishes to suit all tastes, from our famous tenderloins to burgers, soups, salads, seafood, and more. Hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. and Sunday from 6 until 2. So if you're looking for great food, stop by Our Place in Brook or call 219-275-2208.
Starting a new business? Or perhaps you're thinking it's time for a fresh start in dealing with your company's taxes. For over 50 years, Del Principe and Alley Certified Public Accountants have been helping folks just like you. They keep up to date on all the changing tax codes and help you take full advantage of the deductions and credits the tax laws permits. Let them help you. Call Del Principe and Alley today at 219-866-4665 or 987-6014.
Your sign is your image, and at Designs by Cindy, we take pride in making you look your best. We pride ourselves in our wide range of custom products and services. Our ability to understand your needs and deliver exactly what you're looking for is what sets us apart. We're your one-stop for all your signage needs. Check out our website at designsbycindy.com or give us a call at Designs by Cindy at 219-819-8786.
Welcome back to the Coaches Kage Show, live from Arnie's Pizza. It's Bill Kay and Scotty Miller with you here today as we have our initial Coaches Kage Show every Wednesday night hear from Arnie. He's got a great turnout, as always. We really appreciate our area coaches. Really appreciate you, Kirk Kennedy. Kind of had a health scare this past summer, but here you are. You're back on the sideline, and you don't miss a beat, man.
Well, I'm like a roach. You can't kill me. I'm a pest, and when you see me, it's bad news, and you can't kill me. So here I am.
Working for a new boss this year.
Yeah,
got a new athletic director.
Yeah.
Looking forward to meeting Joe Wagner, is it?
Joe Wagner, yeah. He comes to us from Couts.
From Couts, okay.
He's got a LaPorte background, but he was most recently at Couts.
All right, so he's not from very far away then.
Yeah. Well, John and I were very close. We knew each other for years. And I hated to see him go. He's the one that hired me and provided.
John Gray, of course, we're talking about. And
provided an opportunity for me to come to KV. But, he explained things to me, and I understood. And, he's got a lot of things going on. And he stepped down, and he's teaching PE. And I think on teaching health next semester. But, yeah, he's still at KV, just different role. And they brought Joe Wagner in, and he's, off to a good start. So we'll see. But, anytime you have an administrative change, and it's the administration that brought you in. That's, right. It can be a little unsettling, but smooth transition. And, we're in year 3 of our program now. So, the kids are working hard, staff's working hard, and I think we got things heading in the right direction.
Cougars last year winning the first sectional game against Gary West nicely, and then, boy, disappointing loss against New Prairie. New Prairie finished 10-3 sectional champions, and he went to overtime with them before losing 28-21.
That's one of those things where, somebody would have, say, like Monday of that week, somebody would have offered me, hey, you're going to go to overtime against New Prairie. I'd have signed the paper right then and there, but
sure. Nobody expected that, I don't think.
But when you're in it and how close you come to winning that game, a good night and a great effort turns into disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to keep things in perspective. We're not in a situation where we look at moral victories and things like that. That was a game that we could have and should have won, had the opportunity to.
Sure.
But hopefully we learn from it and maybe gain some momentum heading into the off season. And now, we're starting the next season out, so we'll see.
Tell us some of the key members of that 5-6 squad, Cougar squad, that have graduated that had really good years last year.
Well, I think you got to start with Lane Zander, and
Mr. Return Man. Nobody could stop him.
He was just dynamic.
He had magic in those
scored
leagues.
And so he had a pick 6 against Lowell for a touchdown.
How many return touchdowns did he have?
He had 3 kickoff returns and 1 punt return. He had four returns. That's a school record for a single season. But and I don't know how many receiving touchdowns he had, but it was numerous. But he was just such a big threat. He's a speed guy and fierce competitor. He was a speed guy as a junior and turned into a football player as a senior. He really evolved well. Now he went on to DePaul.
Oh, really?
He's going to play football and run track there.
I bet he'll be successful there.
Yeah, and another kid, Eli Deerdorf.
Okay.
He was a defensive end, defensive leader for us. Tough physical player. Also played some receiver. Kind of a weird combination, wide receiver and defensive end. But he got pretty big. He got about 220, 225. Big and strong, and we're gonna miss him. I'm drawing a blank on some of those kids. It's been Gabe Kistler.
Okay.
Tight end, defensive end. Him and Eli were our bookends, and Gabe, tough kid, made a lot of plays for us. And we're certainly going to miss him. But it's just, we had a good, strong senior class last year, and last year was year 2 of our program. They did a good job of leading us, and you could just tell when the second year started, and this year being the third, just how more smoothly things happen.
Right.
As you get going, because year 1, good group of kids, but we had to put everything. Start at square one. And,
sure.
And year 2, you can kind of see the results of year 1 as you start year 2, and this year, obviously they know our systems, our routines, our drills, our practice. What we expect out of them in practice, what we expect out of them in the weight room, and So all that. I mean, we're still coaching, still working hard, and all that. That goes without saying. But it just seems like that we're not fighting ourselves, fighting the past so much, and they've accepted, the changes, and so things are going pretty well.
What kind of numbers you got out for this year's?
Well, right now, 10 through 12, we're at 34. So we're down a little bit.
That's not bad, though.
Down a little bit. Just some kids made some decisions and disappointing, but I think most of our football players are playing.
Okay.
It's not like we lost. The most of the people we lost in the off season are kind of the periphery kids that would have played on Saturdays or
sure,
had a diminished role on game night, but certainly through the week those kids are valuable because you have to have good scout teams to prepare your varsity.
Right.
So, I mean, every kid has a role and every kid's valuable.
Exactly.
It's just that, when you make decisions like that, we've always said, and I think it's true, that the easiest thing in life you'll ever do is not play football. Because, I mean, think of all the time, that you instantly get back in your life, and the accountability is gone, and
sure,
the year-round work, and
sure,
grade monitoring, and all. I mean, all that's
everything,
just instantly off your shoulders. And, they're free for their own, to their own vices. So, and the freshman class this year is 13, and last year as 8th graders there's about 25 football players in that class.
Oh,
so,
wow.
So some of them made some
yeah.
disappointing decisions in the off season as well. So, it is what it is. Everybody always says, well, that's going on all over the place.
Right.
But that doesn't make it any easier to deal with,
Right.
because you'd like to think that you offer a strong program, a program that'd be inviting to kids. But sometimes you think, well, with all this year-round work and all these expectations, is that chasing kids away?
Sure.
Because so, we're not going to change what we do, because then we'd be attracting the kind of kids that you wouldn't really want.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
We're going to keep grinding, keep pounding, and go with what we got. If we have to, because the most elite military units are small numbers. So
right.
if we got to go with the skeleton crew, that's what we'll go with. But
those will be the guys you can count on.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Coach, help me out here. I thought KV was going down to 3A, but not the football team. Is that right?
Well, the different sports have different classes.
Okay.
Football has 6A.
Okay.
So it's a little bit different, but we're firmly in 4A in football.
Okay. But basketball, KV is going down to 3A?
I don't quote me on that. I think so.
Okay.
But
okay.
If I say one thing, it's usually the other. So. Okay. But yeah, our enrollment is. I think I saw the other day it's about 980, 986, something like that. Last year it was, I think, 1,012.
Okay.
So we are going down a little bit, but we're still firmly in 4A in football.
Well, the way you start, nothing like the Cracker Barrel right on.
Yeah. You talk about, hitting the ground running.
Yeah.
You start off your season with playing a great team in a great game and a great environment, and it keeps you grounded all throughout the summer and all throughout your practices and all of your sessions in the weight room. I mean, you focus on that first opponent, which it's such an important game and such a big game, in our county, and Coach Meeks does such a great job there with his program, and his kids. They're well coached, they play hard, and they don't beat themselves.
Right.
And
right.
The thing about that is you have to match that on every down, because if you're not on that level, if you're not meeting that standard, you don't have a chance.
Sure wasn't a lot that split you guys up last year.
Well,
28-27.
We had a big lead on them at halftime, and here they come.
Mm-hmm.
So we hopefully learn from that and realize that I mean, it's not like we don't respect Rinster, because we do, but sometimes getting smacked in the face is a heck of a learning experience, So, we're hopefully ready. I guess you never know until you kick it off. But, we've put the work in, and, we've got a Thursday practice ahead of us tomorrow, and then we tee it up and play ball. So we'll see.
Okay. Who are some of the kids that you'll be counting on tomorrow night?
Well, I think you need to start with our two returning starters in the backfield, both team captains.
Those remember Mr. Castro, I think is one of them.
Yeah, Marco Castro is our running back. He's
just tough as
he
nails.
set a single season school record last year with a little over 1,700 yards rushing.
Was that what? Whoa, my goodness!
Yeah, and 1,700 yards rushing in what was that? 11 games. Yeah, so he's back as a senior and bigger and stronger than ever, and look for him to have a big year. Quarterback Diego Arroyo again.
He's been around for a while.
Yeah, this will be his third year starting, and he's a great leader and understands our offense. And
that's gotta really feel good for a coach, doesn't it? To have
just
guy that's that much experience.
People coming back at those important positions that you can count on. 4 of our 5 offensive linemen return.
Wow. Okay.
The tackles are easy because they're both named Gavin.
Okay.
Yeah, Gavin Renfro on the right side and Gavin Joy on the left side.
So you just yell, Gavin, get out there.
Yeah, Gavin and two kids. It's like going into a coach's clinic and yelling coach. Everybody turns around and looks. But and then we have Max Duttlinger at left guard and Mason Kitchen, our third captain. We got tri-captains.
Okay.
For those of you on the team listening, that means 3. But yeah, we got Marco, Diego, and Mason Kitchen as our 3 captains who voted on by the team, so that's great honor for those 3 guys.
Certainly.
And then our right, our only new starter in the offensive line is Hunter Urbano playing right guard.
Okay.
Kind of got a swinging door really at tight end. Jaden Anderson, Ike Deerdorf, we got and even Brady Sampson, a new player for us, senior kid, that basketball player.
I was gonna say,
you probably remember the name.
Yeah.
Well, Brady's most known for probably getting 3-point plays the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
Mixing it up inside, but I saw him play basketball and said that kid needs to be on the football field, and he
big
agreed,
strong kid.
He agreed to come out, and I'll tell you what, it's a good thing he did because he's. If he wasn't a new player, he'd probably be a 2-way starter. But we're trying not to overload him right now.
Wow.
But he is starting for us at defensive end.
Jeez.
Number 85.
85. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Brady is 6'3", 195. So
yeah, those are good ones to find.
Yeah.
And he's, you figure a kid that's never played football. He's smart, and he's very respectful. The kind of kid you want in your program. And he's picked up on things pretty well.
Coach's son, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I remember when I was first over at Lowell back in the early '90s. I remember his dad playing basketball for KV. So yeah.
We remember him coaching.
Oh
basketball
yeah.
Many years at the girls program and.
Yeah. And out on the perimeter, got these guys. Adrian Utchman returns as a receiver, and so does Grayley Weaver. So we got some experience returning pretty much everywhere. It's just a matter of playing up to our potential and executing, playing within ourselves, not just doing the ordinary things correctly.
Right.
With great mental and physical effort. You don't have to be Superman. Just play within your capabilities.
Trust your teammates and do your job.
Sure. Yeah.
Who's lining up for you in key roles defensively?
I think we got about 5 guys going both ways, maybe if I look it over. But Marco Castro, middle linebacker, along with, I believe, our leading returning tackler from last year, Edward Ritchie.
Okay.
Those 2 are the middle linebackers. Jaden Anderson is the leading defensive player. He'll be on the edge at like an outside linebacker, defensive end type guy. Defensive line, I mentioned Brady. He's playing defensive end. Gavin Joy on the other side. Gavin's 6'7".
Wow.
But yeah,
that'll be a little size.
And obviously he plays basketball too. But he came on the scene last year, and I think he thought we were joking when we said you're probably going to end up playing tackle for us because he was a tight end. And he started left tackle for us the whole year last year. But this year he's going to be a 2-way player. And he's doing a great job at defensive end. Not really surprised, just, a matter of who we've got on the team and the numbers, how they work out. So Mason Kitchen, Gavin Renfro, Jorge Flores, I'm talking about the tackles now.
Right.
Aiden Fuquay. So we got some depth there, depending on what front we're in. Either need 2 or 3 tackles, 40 front, 50 front. So, so we got some depth there and some options, some choices. we got Ike Kierdorf playing some outside linebackers, strong safety types, and he's kind of has a hybrid, where he's got to do some covering and run support, coming off the edge. So, his job is a lot of reading and reacting to what he sees, and he can do a myriad of things based on his position that he plays. Adrian Utchman is corner. Nolan Koistra is basically a safety.
Okay.
And we have Brevin Whaley playing the other corner, and Jason Parker has a one of those light injuries, that you get in the summer. So he probably will return to that position, which will allow us to move Brevin back to, he's more like a safety outside linebacker type, but he's playing corner now due to an injury.
Okay.
So, we'll probably be able to move him back. Got a couple guys off the soccer team kicking for us. Anthony Ruvalcaba and I'm drawing a blank. I'll have to look. That's why I got my roster, because it's early in the year. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Trevor Poplowski.
Okay.
And that's terrible that I forgot him, because his daddy played for us over at Lowell. So,
oh, man. You can't do
I'm
that.
going to have to buy somebody a pizza or something now. But Trevor and Anthony are, they're doing a good job kicking for us. And
that's important.
It's a heck of a weapon.
Oh, heck yeah.
Let's see. Miles Kitchen and Jaden Anderson be our long snappers. Ike Deerdorf is holding for us. Nolan Koistra and Adrian Utchman will be our return men, both punts and kicks. So that about takes care of it. Just a lot of experience returning, some new guys coming out there, but we're excited. We're ready to get out of the summer mode, and this week we got into game mode and made that transition, and the kids are excited and ready to go.
Seems it looks like no changes in the schedule. Everybody
just different locations.
Right.
Yep.
Lining up in sectional 17, you'll have again some tough foes. New Prairie comes off a 10-3 season. Hobart was 7-3. Hanover 11-1.
Yeah.
Gary West 6-4. They had a winning season.
They had a good team last year.
So you're going to have some pretty stiff competition there, and of course the Northwest Crossroads Conference is always tough.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
But I suppose you wouldn't want it any other way, would you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're ever going to achieve any of our long-term goals, we're going to have to go right through the conference and attack that sectional head on. I mean, there's no other way to do it. So. Just play who's right in front of us and take it one game at a time.
If anybody knows how you do, over 200 wins in your career.
I've been blessed with some great coaches and some great players throughout my career. And
I looked up your record here, and you are the 15th winningest active coach in the state of Indiana. That's not too bad.
Well, when you put it that way, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the 15th most winning coach in Wheatfield.
Oh, no.
No,
let's stretch it out there.
It's just a reflection of, like I said, a lot of great people that I've worked with and worked for, and I'm just a guy that is fortunate enough to have my name on the program. So,
all right. Well, listen, I hope it's okay with you. We're going to do a Player of the Game award. We're just going to hand out a 3KG T-shirt.
Okay.
And hopefully get the winner up for a quick interview, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right. We're going to start that this year. We've got some new things. We're trying to, get some excitement in our program too. So
sure.
We always love going to KV. You guys do it up right there.
It's going to be a heck of an environment. Great crowd, electric. The kind of environment that you're glad, as hard as these kids work, the kind of environment that you're glad that they get experience.
Sure.
So, we're expecting that stadium to be bulging at the seams and it to be a raucous crowd and a lot of excitement.
Well, that'll be great. All right, Coach, we're going to let you go. And thank you very much for coming out to our initial show here tonight. But we'll look forward to seeing you on Friday night and weeks afterwards.
Well, it's always great to come on and talk about the Cougars.
Kurt Kennedy of the Kankakee Valley Cougars was our guest, and we'll be right back with more from Arnie's Pizzeria in Rensselaer.
In agriculture, preparation is important. Dedication is you deciding what to plant and then asking what it will take for a good crop. How much work will it take to produce the final crop? In sports, preparation is vital in becoming the best you can be. Dedication is a will of achievements for a winning desire. Corbett Farms encourages everyone to do their best by having a winning spirit, attitude, and achievement. Your positivity will make a difference. Corbett Farms is proud to sponsor high school sports.
Meet you at Arnie's, Rensselaer's go-to pizza and so much more. Pizza, sandwiches, burgers are here. Don't forget about dessert. Wings, cheese sticks, garlic bread too. Arnie's pizza menu has something for everyone. Dine in or carry out in the best pizza in town. Located across from St. Joseph's College in Rensselaer. Call 219-866-9999 and meet you at Arnie's.
Midwest Contractor Services of Rensselaer, with over 15 years of experience, offers both insulation and gutter services for new construction and existing homes in Jasper, Newton, Lake, and Porter counties. You could save money and lower energy bills by adding more insulation to your house. New insulation project? Let Midwest Contractor Services offer you a custom insulation package that fits your needs. Leaves in your gutter? Let us give you a price on leaf protection products that really work and are affordable. Call Marty or Mark at Midwest Contractor Services today at 219-866-0755 and get an estimate for your project.
Working with our customers has been Kentland Bank's trademark for 87 years. We're dedicated to making your visit a lasting one, and helping you achieve your goals is our #1 priority. With 5 locations, Kentland Bank offers all loans needed for today's businesses and families, including car loans, mortgages, agriculture, and commercial loans. We're here to make your busy life less hectic by offering online and mobile banking, bill pay, and P2P payments. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Welcome back to 3KG Coaches Kage Show, live from Arnie's Pizza every Wednesday night. Come out and join us here. It's a lot of fun with all our area high school football coaches. Great turnout every year, and it looks like this year would be no different. We've got a full boat here tonight, so really appreciate these guys. Make it a lot of fun for us and give their players a little bit of notoriety too. Coach Mark Hall joining us now from the West Central Trojans, coming off a fine 8-3 season. Disappointing loss in round 2 of the sectional, but other than that, man, you've steamrolled a lot of teams, averaging over 40 points on the offensive end while giving up less than 15. That's a pretty darn good season.
Yeah, it was. It was a good continuation from the year before, and we had a lot of good things rolling both those years, and they were very nice years to be a part of, and after some of the work that had to be put in there to get things back to where it was really nice. And if that, you're talking about that 40 points offense last year, only giving up 14, that ranked in school history the #1 point differential.
Oh, was it really? Yeah. Wow, okay.
So we were able to do a lot of good things last year, and that was a credit to those seniors and the work they had put in all throughout high school, and just continued to build on what we were able to do that year before, going 10-2. So this year's seniors are something we've talked to about of, you guys have been here during when we've turned things around. What are you going to leave behind? So that's one of the things we talked about all off season is how are you guys going to leave it? Are you guys going to leave it better than we found it, or are we going to revert back? So that's been a huge thing we hit on with the seniors, and they've done a pretty good job of attacking each day and trying to get better.
Well, they've obviously had some good examples from their teammates years past. And who were some of those guys that have graduated now and gone on and that you're going to be missing this year?
Well, all of them.
How many seniors did you have?
We had 7 last year.
Ah, that's a good, strong class.
Yeah, we had. It all started with Connor Marlatt, who was our quarterback the last 2 years, and
what an athlete he was.
He did a lot of good things for us. His position is probably the hardest one for us to replace, really, because not only was he a good athlete, like he just understood the offense completely, and when he needed to give it, when he needed to pull it, and if he made a mistake, he understood it right away and was like, hey, let's run that again, I've got it, and then he'd make the right decision the next time, and everything would look really good. So he's going to be a big one that's going to be hard to replace, but we've got guys that they put in the work this offseason, so Friday night and then going forward in the season, we'll see if they're able to, and we told them you don't have to be Connor. You just have to run the offense. Mm-hmm. Connor broke off several times last year. He broke off 50-yard runs, 80-yard touchdown runs. Like, we just need you to get 5.
Yeah.
As long as you can run and get 5 every time, or maybe break 1 to get 10, like, it makes the defense have to pay attention to you. And that's all we want.
Sure.
And so we told him you don't have to be Connor. Just be yourself. Just run the offense and make the right reads. That's all you have to do. And now hopefully we're going to do that. Hopefully we don't think that that's the only way we can play that, and we can just play it our own way. So Connor's going to be hard to replace. Our entire backfield was seniors last year. Both our wings, Spencer Lehman, he had been a starter for 3 years.
Remember that name, that's for sure.
It did a lot of good things for us. Offensively, it was again, wing 3-year starter. In defense, he was a 2-year starter for us. The other wing was Austin Bolin last year, he came out as a junior, played on defense and more his junior year, started both ways last year. Jacob Plarski at fullback. He's been a guy that has started games here and there since he was a freshman, so he's a guy that we're going to miss. He was our middle linebacker as well last year, so those are big positions in our offense and defense that we have to fill. And Josiah Rodriguez was another one that was there that helped us out. He was a receiver, came in at wing different time points. He only came out to play his senior year and did a great job for us offensively and defensively. And then up front, we had Max Scholes, our center, who was a 3-year starter there. Zach Gilliger was another 2-3-year starter. And then Blake Hughes was a starter since he was a freshman on offense and defense. So those guys they played a lot of football for us.
Yeah.
Now the positive is our seniors we have this year, even with those last 2 big senior classes that we had, 3 or 4 of them have been starting since they've been sophomores as well. Okay, so it's not like they've never played. And then all of them started last year of the 6 that we have. So they've got experience, and some of our guys behind there in the junior class, some of them started last year as sophomores, even with the bigger class we had last year. So it's not like we're starting from scratch or anything like that. We've got guys that, when you talked about the scores earlier, we've been fortunate the last 2 years that we've had some leads, and we've been able to get a lot of the younger guys in the second half and late in the first half even, and get experience. What is it going to be like on Friday night? So now it's just taking that experience that they've gained, and now they've got to be the main guys. We talked about actually beginning of August that we're going from being the supporting cast to now we're the main cast, and how we're going to handle it.
Can you know what to expect when you got, a bunch of kids like that coming in, and or will Friday tell a whole lot for you as a staff?
Well, again, when we're looking at just overall, do we have, like, how many people are, like, brand new starting, like, and never started before? Defensively, I can only think of 4 that have never started, right? But they got in last year. It's not like they just did nothing. Some of them were rotational players. Offensively, there's, I think, again, only like 4 that have just never started. So it's not like we're again starting over. So it's just making those guys that maybe weren't the ones that had to be counted upon previously to be go out there and get the lead for us. It's just maintain it. Now you guys got to be the ones to go get the lead. So I think you talking about is it we're going to find out Friday? Well, absolutely. We're going to find out one way or the other. Now I feel like we're going to be in good shape through our scrimmages and things like that we did over the summer. We got a lot of experience with the group that we're going to have now, and what is it going to look like? And they competed. They went and we were at Manchester camp. Rensselaer goes there, and there's other bigger schools. We're like the, I think, third, fourth smallest school that plays 11-man football in the state.
Really?
So, like, everybody's bigger than us.
Sure.
And when we went to Manchester, it was no different. We played Rensselaer. We played some 3A teams. We played a couple 4A teams. We competed, and that's all I can ask from them. Is to go out there and compete. And it doesn't matter what the score was or anything like that, but we were able to do some good things. And that's what we're trying to look at is build off of those things and then make them grow as we go through the season. And then when we get to playing teams that are our size, and now we're really going to see what we're like instead of playing the bigger 4A schools that were there. So we're going to find out. Again, I have a feeling of what I expect out of them and what I think they're going to do, but until that ball actually gets kicked off on Friday, I mean, we don't know. And it's a big rivalry game. We start out the year.
That's a change, isn't it?
It is. Winamac used to be
in the middle. You played them late September last year.
Week 7 last year. Before that, they used to be like week 6. So it's always been
for you guys,
been kind of a mid to late season that we play them, and so this is a huge difference. And it's nice. It's a lot easier to get the kids' attention when I say, hey, week 1,
you got to be ready. Yeah.
We can't just kind of see how things are and ease through this. I mean, we got to be ready to go. And that's not taking anything away from Caston. Caston's a good football team. They've done a lot of good things lately, and they've gotten a lot better. But they aren't our biggest rival.
Right.
So having them week 1, it's going to be a lot different. But I think it's going to be exciting. Come out of right away and see what do we have? What are we going to have this year, and how are we going to deal with pressure situations? Because that's going to be a pressure situation right away on Friday.
Talk about changes on your schedule. Caston as well as Lake Station out this year, while Faith Christian, a new team, a team that's been in the conference before but never played football, I don't think. And
they played 8-man football last year.
Oh, okay.
And this is their first year of 11-man football. And they next year they will be a full football
accredited in
football conference member next year.
Okay, I noticed.
So they're in our conference for all the other sports, but football-wise, they don't play. I think it's like South Newton and North Newton, both of them, this year. So they aren't fully in the football conference, but they are playing most of us. But next year they're supposed to be full members of the football conference, so that's why they're on our schedule now. Then Cascade is a 1-year deal.
I have never heard of Cascade.
They're down
by Indy.
Yeah,
okay.
By Indy, on the southeast side or southwest side of Indy.
And a 3A school.
Yeah, there weren't a whole lot of choices.
Okay.
When we put that out there. It was pretty late in the spring when we ended up picking that one, and it was pretty late, and didn't have a whole lot of options. I think they were one of 2 schools that responded when we put it out. And we had put it out probably December. We put out that we needed a game, and there's nothing.
Just nothing there.
Just nothing. So that's going to be a 1-year deal in week 4 this year. That we'll go down there, and then next year Lake Station will fill that spot. So Lake Station went off this year because week 4 they play. We tried to get them to move to week 4, but they are playing in Indianapolis school. So it would have made a lot more sense for the Cascade and the Indianapolis school to play each other, and us and Lake Station play each other, but
didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Okay. All right.
So I think they're going down there too. So maybe we should take the same bus. I don't know. But if you look, the reason why we had to do this had to do with Winamac and Culver. Their conference had Knox and LaVille leave it, and then they brought in South Central and North Miami.
Okay.
And so when they did that, they decided they wanted to move all their conference games to the last half of the year.
Okay.
So that leaves week 1 and 2 as the only open options. And so Winamac and Culver were like, hey, we want to play you guys still. Week 1 and 2 is it. That's the only openings we have. So then that means that Lake Station was week 2, so we tried to get them. We go to week 4, and they wouldn't do it this year, but they will next year. And then Caston was the other one that they got left out.
Well, you never know. I mean, that KV Rensselaer opener now is, turned out into a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be. I remember the day when the Bombers opened against South Newton, and this one finally moved up to the opener, and it's huge. Now for them, maybe Winamac and West Central could be the same.
Hopefully, and like at WKVI, they do the win out of Knox.
Okay.
They do a radio show over there, and they cover our area as well. And I know they're a little disappointed because they were talking about how us and Winamac is one of their biggest rivalries that they cover. But also week 1, because of this conference readjustment, that moved Knox and North Judson to week 1.
Okay.
So they were a little disappointed because they couldn't cover both of them now.
I know.
Yeah, so
I know what those things are like.
Yeah, so they were a little disappointed about that. But again, we're kind of in a bind on where to go with those things.
I'm just happy that the Midwest Conference is back.
Yes,
operating.
Absolutely. We left to go to that Hoosier North when it first started, and I think I was one of the only people at the school that voted like, hey, we need to stay in the Midwest Conference. And unfortunately, that wasn't the majority vote.
Yep.
But none of those people are there anymore. So it's much nicer to be back in Midwest Conference. It's teams that are our size. And now all the Hoosier North teams, they're all 1A now, but they weren't at the time. So it was, again, farther travel, too.
Sure.
It wasn't schools that are the kind of makeup that we are either. So I'm just happy to be back in it. It's great that it's back. I'm glad that we've added another team that makes it a little bit easier as far as scheduling is concerned with Faith Christian. It would be nice if we were able to add an 8th team.
8th team, yep.
I don't know if that will ever happen, but it would be nice if we could.
Coach, let's talk about some of the players that will be counted on for West Central this year.
Yeah, one of our biggest ones is going to be Dre Villarreal. Last year he was a sophomore. He was our middle linebacker, leading tackler on the team. This year he's now a junior. He's going to be once again counted upon in the middle of for the defense there at middle linebacker. But he's also going to be our fullback.
Okay.
And he came in a few times last year, and we second half let him run as fullback, and I think his average on the year was like 12, 13 yards a carry. So
not too shabby.
Not too bad, right?
Yeah.
Now I'd love if he could continue that and just every time we give him the ball, it's first down. That would make play calls a lot easier, wouldn't it?
He'd be like Woody Hayes in the old days of Ohio State.
Yeah. So I do expect big things out of him. He's put on some weight, some muscle, gotten a lot stronger this offseason. He runs track, so he's gotten faster too. So looking for big things out of him. Now in the backfield that's going to join him, again, because it's all new, Jaden Miller, who has done things for us in the past. He's been a fullback before. Last year he was also a fullback at time points, and we moved him to wing by the end of the year, and he's going to be one of our wings this year. And he's another kid that was in the weight room all offseason. He's gotten stronger, gotten faster because he runs track as well. So he's another one that we're going to expect a lot of big things out of him. He's going to take on the role of the wings we've had in the past that are going to be the ones that we got to break things open and run some of our jet plays, our toss plays, our counter plays, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be counted on to do that. So, again, big things out of him. Caden Gutwine is going to be our other wing that we expect a lot of things out of. Only a sophomore, but he was in the weight room all offseason. Missed very few weightliftings from really the time we opened the weight room in December. So, gotten a lot stronger. He's a kid that, as the future goes, I expect him to be one of our he's going to get a lot bigger. He's one that I have to be there pushing him, but when I do, I'm like, hey, add a little more weight. He does it, so I'm like, well, add some more, and he keeps going up. So again, he's gotten a lot stronger. Expect a lot of good things out of him. All these guys are going to be starting both ways for us. He just kind of what we have with 1A. We got a lot of 2A players. Addison Huber right now is who we're looking at as being our quarterback. He's been the guy that we've been getting all the reps to, and again, he's not going to be Connor. And we've told him, like, don't worry about it. But he's done a lot of good things. Like, as he's grown, and it's like we start way back in January where we start going morning sessions where we come together and we're like, hey, this is the plays. Let's keep them fresh in our memory and just go over them. And it's one thing teach option and what it should look like
right.
against air. It's completely different when there's people moving.
There, yeah.
So we didn't have that really until the summer when we went to scrimmages, and then it started to click, I think, for Addison about, so this is what you meant when people are moving around and how to make them make a decision instead of doing it quickly, like ride it a little bit, make them commit, then make your decision and go, make them wrong. Because if we do it right, then the defense should be wrong every time. He's gotten better at that. He's gotten some live experience with it, gotten some looks at it. Again, our scrimmage on last Friday for the conference jamboree, got a few more reps at it, and did some good things. We talked a little bit to him about some passing things that.
Can he throw it if he has to?
He has. Yeah, he can. He's got to throw it faster. There's some openings that he missed on Friday just because he held it too long, and we're like, you got to throw it. If it's open, throw it. You don't wait for it, because if you wait for it, the defense is going to recover. So he's again, learning curves that are going to happen for him. But
a little bit of confidence, I'm sure, too.
And I think he does, because he made a really nice read. He got like 15-yard gain on last Friday. So that's all we need. Just make the read and go. And so I think he's going to do a good job there. Up front, we've got Blake Endress, who's anchoring the line this year. He started last year for us as a junior. Now he's a senior. Landon Hughes is moving into our center spot. It was vacated from Max Scholes graduating, and Landon's now a sophomore. He's another kid that got bigger over the offseason, so we expect a lot of good things out of him as well. Johnny Rao is a kid we moved to line last year by the end of the year, so he's now a starter at guard for us, and he's not big, but he's aggressive. So he's going to get in your face.
That can make up for the lack of size.
And that's what we told him, like, just get after it. And he does that. He moves fast and quick, so he does a really nice job there. And then our tackles are Nick Panicaro and Rudy Rodriguez that Rudy started for us last year too. So we've got guys up there that started, two of them back, and then some other ones that rotated in. So we feel pretty confident about them up front. We just don't have a whole lot of depth right now. That we got to work on making some more of that.
Well, hopefully everybody stays healthy, and
yes, that'd be nice.
The key, won't it?
Yes.
Coach, you got to start on the road again, just like last year with these schedule changes. But I really think it's going to be a boost to have that Winamac if it turns out that way. That to get that big rivalry game right off the.
Yeah, I mean, if we come out and we're firing all cylinders and get a nice and get the outcome we want on Friday, that can be a huge springboard for the rest of the year.
Keep the kids real interested in the off season too.
Yes, it definitely is a hey. You guys don't want to show up in February to lift. Well, I bet the other side of the county is.
Yeah, there you go. Well, we've seen a few of those West Central Winamac games. They're always great games, and wish you a lot of luck, and appreciate you coming out again, and hope you can string another great West Central Trojan football season, man. Why not go for 3?
Yeah, that would be great, and thank you. Hopefully we do, and thank you for all the things you guys do to get coverage for the area, and we've been on a few times the last couple of years, and I think most of the time you guys brought us pretty good luck. So
Good deal. We'll try to do it again this year.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we're trying something new this year. We're not really laying our schedule out week to week. We want to maybe give ourselves a little bit of leeway to pick out the best games, the key games as the season rolls along.
Yeah.
So we don't even know where we're going to be next week.
Yeah.
So we'll see if you guys roll the 8-3 type season again. We'll be seeing you for sure.
All right. Well, that sounds good.
All right. Mark Hall of the West Central Trojans. We'll be back with more from Arnie's Pizzeria. You're watching the 3KG Coaches Kage show.
Pulver Psychological Services offers psychological counseling, consultation, and assessment. Locally owned and operated, Pulver Psych focuses on solutions for the community and serves as support for individuals, families, and organizations. Whether you're in need of personal, family, or success counseling, Pulver Psychological Services can help you reach your life goals. Increase work satisfaction, have better relationship compatibility, improve sports performance. Get in touch with Pulver Psychological Services by visiting pulverpsych.com. PreferredInsurance.com.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
High-quality, personalized dental service is what they do at Hillcrest Dental. For over 40 years, generations have relied on Hillcrest Dental for beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. John Ayler and Dr. Jack Drone look forward to seeing you for your next dental visit. For information or to set your appointment, call 219-866-7117. That's 219-866-7117. Or visit hillcrestdental.net. Hillcrest Dental is a proud sponsor of all high school athletics.
At Applegate Seed House, we specialize in any and all small seed project needs. This includes government programs, CRP, pollinators and waterways, pasture mixes, and new lawn seed. Applegate Seed House is located 2 miles north of Brook, Indiana, and 2.5 miles east of Highway 41. Call Sam at 765-363-3113. That's Sam at Applegate Seed House, 765-363-3113.
Starting a new business? Or perhaps you're thinking it's time for a fresh start in dealing with your company's taxes. For over 50 years, Del Principe and Alley Certified Public Accountants have been helping folks just like you. They keep up to date on all the changing tax codes and help you take full advantage of the deductions and credits the tax laws permits. Let them help you. Call Del Principe and Alley today at 219-866-4665 or 987-6014.
Hey, we got several new sponsors this year already on board. Want to thank them. Big time helps us keep this program going. And keeping this program going tonight, Jonathan Ewing of the North Newton Spartans. Coach Ewing, what are you just talking off the air about your numbers here, man? That's pretty exciting right off the get-go to have over 30 kids out for the program this year.
Yeah, so we're sitting right around 31. We're real young. We've got 6
growing the roster year after year now.
That's right. 6 seniors, 4 juniors, and then 17 freshmen. So we're, like I said, we're real young, but we're excited to play a full JV schedule this year, which we didn't play any JV games last year. So we're right where we need to be. You know, year 2 of a big turnaround and a rebuild of our program, trying to get it back to former glory for sure.
There was definitely a lot of glory at North Newton. The old days of Doug Knutson and man, they had some teams over there, and you know, small school football. It sure, you know, you're not the only team that goes in this, ups and downs. But how tough is it when you get teams that just can't come up with a win? And geez, Pete's, you guys got to really be chomping at the bit to get off the schneid here.
Well, you hear coaches at all levels in all sports talk about you got to teach kids how to win, and that's kind of where we're at, and we're talking about that daily, and doing the right thing in the right moments, and attitude and effort and all that stuff. The things that we can't coach, and getting that out of our kids, we preach that on a daily basis. For our guys, we talk a lot about where we've been and where we want to go, and we don't set any goals. We don't just set small goals. Like, we set big goals, and we talk about what it's like to hoist that trophy when you're down in Lucas Oil. And we took a group of about 45 kids last year down to the 1A state championship game, and sat there in the stands and watched it, because I felt like for our guys, like, they need to understand what that looks like, and
exactly.
if that's the place we want to be and that's the goal we set. We're gonna get there one day. It's probably not gonna be tomorrow. I get it. It's a long build and a long process. But
what a good idea that was, man.
You set big goals so you can reach big things, right?
Sure.
If all you do are set small goals, you'll never get to the big ones. So we don't want to create anything too small for us, but we know there's a pyramid we got to build, and we're on the first level still, and we get that.
We're not going to dwell too much on last year's season, but who were some of the key guys who graduated off that team last year?
Right. So quarterback, we lost Colin Williams, who was probably our best leader. He had a really live arm. Hadn't played a whole lot of football before I got there, so we were teaching him the game as we moved along. That really hurts. Caleb Johnson, at running back, he ended up with a knee injury at the end of the year. But Caleb was he was there from day one for us and a hard worker. Really talented football player. Diego Diaz is up at Manchester going through camp right now.
Wow.
So we sent a
Good luck
player.
to him,
Even with our season, we were still able to send kids to college. And
that's pretty awesome.
He's he's up there living the fun life right now. I wish we were all putting helmets on in college again. It felt good. And then we had a couple other pieces we lost in Alex Miller at receiver and Jesse Funk at receiver. We're bringing back a really talented senior group, though. A couple of new guys new guys and a gal at the senior class that haven't played before, which is always good to get older bodies out and teach them a game that I love and means so much to me. So that's the exciting part. We're sad always to lose our seniors, but always excited for the new group to come in and have a chance to put their mark on our program and really solidify their team.
Let's talk about the new guys. Who are you going to count on this year for Spartan football? Putting points on the board. Let's talk offense first.
There's a list of them. Well, we can always talk offense. That's my side of the ball. So at quarterback, our really key piece, and he's been a great leader for us. It's once again first year playing varsity football is Cade Watkins. Cade's really taken to the game and really buying in, and I can't ask him to be a better leader for us so far this year. The whole team kind of rallies around him, and it's a great feeling. We've got Hunter Crabtree coming back, playing running back for us. Unfortunately for Hunter, he had a knee injury last year in week 2 against Rensselaer. When you talk about a football player and you draw him up on a board, that's what Hunter Crabtree is, right?
Really?
He looks the part, and we're going to feed him the rock this year at running back and maybe move him around a little bit. Typical fullback, middle linebacker build, and I couldn't give you a better statue of a player for sure. Vinny Milo he's a move-in from Illinois. He's our starting center. Then we've got Owen Barry, who's going to play some on the outside for us at receiver. And
gotta like the guys that transfer in.
That's right. And we had a couple big ones this year for sure. And then Jenna Bijak is playing for us. She kind of stuck around after some football workouts this spring and decided, hey, if I'm doing the workouts, I might as well come play football too. I'm doing the hard stuff. Why not come hit? And she's not afraid to get her nose dirty and lay some pads. And there have been a couple practices where she's laying the biggest hits. So she's learning the game still, like a lot of them, and she's really an inspiration to all of us. And we've got her.
Keep us in tune with that.
Right.
That's exciting.
So we've got her, and she's gonna see some minutes this year for sure. And because she's playing, we were able to talk. We've got a junior high 7th grader. Her name's Riley, and she's going to play as well. And when I say she's an inspiration, we had a conversation with her this morning, me and our assistant principal, where we both said, keep doing what you're doing. She's putting in the work. And that's what we're all about.
You gotta like those kids because they're not intimidated, are they?
No. She's a beast. I don't know how else to put it. I love her to death.
Well, the wrestling now is a big program throughout the state for gals, and I think that they're going to find their niche.
Yeah.
Not a lot of them right at the start, but
I tell all the girls they can play everything, but occasionally, they can't play center. That's the only position they're not allowed to play, because occasionally we might go under center for a snap, and I don't want to have to talk to parents. So any position but that.
There you go. How are you going to throw the ball much this year?
I think we're going to throw the ball just like we did last year. I'm pretty aggressive.
Yes, you are.
You can look at some of those scores from last year and tell that, I'm not afraid to put our team in the best position for me and understand that, even though we might be pushing the ball and making mistakes in the passing game, that's still where we want to go. I really believe that you score points in the passing game and you win games with the run game. So we're going to do both as to the best of our efficiency as we can, and I think our kids are understanding. I probably have more of a more complex playbook than most schools, especially at our level. But at the same point, it allows us to kind of pick and choose our areas on the field and where we want to attack. And, I really believe that's an advantage to us for sure. So throwing the ball is not something I'm ever going to be scared of.
Joe, how about defense? What are we looking there?
So defensively, and I'll start here real quick with coaches. Last year we had a struggle with the assistant coaches and missing days here or there, and then we had some changeover, especially at the defensive coordinator spot a couple of times. So this year we were really able to solidify our coaching staff. It was the most important thing I did this offseason by far. So the defensive coordinator, we're bringing in Josh Smith, who Tri-County grad. I coached him when we were at Tri-County together, and then we've coached together at Delphi. And finally I was able to kind of rope him back in and bring him up here to North Newton with me. And having a close friend in that position and being able to just kind of walk away from it at times, like having a full staff this year and not having to be everybody at the same time has been the biggest thing that I've done for our program. I can't take that enough.
Yeah.
Right. So Coach Smith is our defensive coordinator. We're going to move into a little bit more of a nickel defense with a forefront. It'll look a little different, but a lot of the job descriptions are basically the same as they were last year, minus having a nose tackle. For D-line, we've got Coach Ed Eckeblad. He's come in and really revamped us in the weight room and strength and conditioning. This is probably the most conditioned team I've ever coached, and I've coached some really good football teams. Over the summer, minus a couple of health issues, like we haven't really had kids pull themselves out of anything. The Jamboree, we kind of ran with our ones the whole way so we could get them acclimated to Friday nights under the lights as much as possible, and no kids tugging on jerseys in week 0 is impressive, and we haven't had it. So Coach Ed's done a great job. We brought in Zeph Conley to help with quarterbacks, and he's also coaching linebackers as well. And once again, Zeph and Josh know what the Midwest Conference looks like. Zeph went to West Central, Josh went to Tri-County, and they kind of understand.
That's got to help, doesn't it?
I think it does. I think it's a big deal for us. Like they understand what these schools look like, and some of these coaching staffs haven't changed a whole lot since they played back in the early 2000s, and it's a huge deal for our kids to see. Like we travel to schools and you see guys up on walls, and you're like, okay, maybe they do know what they're talking about, and that's always nice. So the coaching staff, we brought back Curtis Finney, who was with us last year. He's coaching DBs and receivers, and Curtis is, he's a ball of energy, and our guys love him. It's awesome. So defensively, like I said, nickel defense just like we were last year. Kind of a multiple front, but we'll stick mostly into that forefront.
Who are some of the guys in the defensive backfield that are lining up there?
Yeah, so Hunter Prusakevich is a sophomore this year. I know last year he was a freshman, and he definitely at times struggled to get acclimated, and he was really struggling through an ankle injury late in the year too. Hunter's coming back. He's full swing. I think he's a kid that probably has all-state potential in his future. He's a heck of an athlete. One of the best true athletes I've ever had, and he's a kid that does it all. Just don't ask him to throw the ball. I guess he can't do that too well, but he can catch, he can run with it, he can kick, he can punt. He's a heck of a tackler. He's real energetic on the field. We love Hunter where he's at, and he's a team leader for us as a sophomore, which tells you a lot about a kid. We've got a couple of young guys playing in positions. Talk about the backfield. We've got a couple of freshmen there. When you look at the front line, I think we have better size than we've had in the past. We brought in Gabe Barnhart, who's a sophomore as well, but he's probably the biggest kid on our team at like 6'4", 260, 270, somewhere in that range.
Pretty stout.
Yeah, he's a big kid. We got to help him with his size a little bit and teach him the ins and outs of the game. Once again, kid that hasn't played a whole lot of football in his career. We've got some freshmen that are going to jump in and help us there as well. Really, the middle of our defense though is going to be the part that stands out to people, and it's Aaron Turner at middle linebacker, and then Hunter Crabtree plays there as well. Those two are going to lead us from the middle of the field, and they're going to rack up tackles, and they're going to do all the good stuff. Defensive ends are solid. And they'll funnel everything inside, and that's the goal.
Linebackers can clean it up, right?
That's right.
Hey, I see you have a couple changes on your schedule, or one anyways, for sure, and that involves the opener. You don't have to play Carroll anymore. Gosh.
Yeah.
What a grinder there to start out with.
Yeah, we were pretty excited to get Carroll off our roster. Not once again, that like we set big goals, and we want to get there, right? We want to get to the point where we're playing Carroll in October and November. We're just not there yet, and we realize that. So we made a change up to Whiting. And then,
it's not going to be an easy game, but
no. That's another program that historically is incredible historically.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool field too up there. Right?
I haven't been there, but I've seen some pictures of it.
The
so I'm
train,
excited.
the train going
The
by.
train, you're basically on the lake.
And they got a beautiful press box.
That's awesome.
One of our favorites, that's for sure.
I can't wait. No,
press box with an elevator is always.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
that's fancy stuff.
Yeah.
That's fancy. Yeah, we can't wait to get up there and play them. They've got some pieces that we're trying to scheme up and make some changes to. So they have a new head coach too. So really, what we got in the scrimmage is all we really have from them, right? We talk about new head coaches coming in. You never really know what you're going to see. So we're trying to scrounge up every little bit of information we can.
Yep.
They've got a quarterback who's a move-in from South Bend Riley with their head coach. I don't know how else to put it. The kid's a stud. He's got the size. He's got the arm. He's got the ability to run. We all wish we had a kid like that at quarterback. His last name's Riley. He's a heck of a quarterback. Let's just call it what it is, right? And then they have a weapon at receiver who's also moving from South Bend Riley. He's like 6'4", 210. Can run and jump with the best of them. So we're going to struggle with some of their size there in key positions, but we're just going to play them physical and see how we match up and see what happens. That's for sure. I think in a lot of other places we match up to them really well, size-wise in the front line. I don't feel like it's going to be a big issue with us, offense to defensive line. We got to get pressure. We got to be able to hold contain on the quarterback and then make sure we don't get beat deep. That's what it comes down to.
Kids chomping at the bit to get it going.
They can't wait. They're tired of hitting each other.
I bet.
So I backloaded our summer schedule this year. So we took June kind of light, and then when we got into July, we kind of hit it real heavy. So realistically, we've been in training camp since about July 15th, and they're ready to go. They're ready to go. I can say it.
Jeez, oh, Pete. So, well, when you say getting tired of hitting each other, I can
understand
that.
We were talking about it as a coaching staff where we really set it up so we had 3 weeks of training camp, but the 2 weeks before that we were meeting twice or 3 times a week. So, they're definitely tired of seeing each other line up across from them, and we saw it on Friday. They want to hit other colors, and we're ready for it. So,
hey, go up to Lake County and show them what Newton County's all about.
That's right. That's the goal. It'll be a nice drive up 41.
There you go.
We're not scared to travel. I thought we traveled well last year, and maybe the games didn't come out the way we wanted to, but I thought our kids were prepared to travel at least. I've been on teams where we've struggled with that, and I don't think we had that problem. We got to be able to put a game together. That's for sure.
If they win, stop at White Castle. Give them a treat.
I'll let them know. It's an option.
Coach Ewing, we appreciate your enthusiasm and your loyalty to our show, coming out every week. It's really great to see you and talk to you about it. And, I think you're doing great things. Are going to turn that program around sooner rather than later.
Hey, we're just doing what we know what to do, and my goal is to never let kids down. So. The adults in the room got to support the kids and make sure the kids got an opportunity to succeed. And if we keep doing that, the kids will come through for us. So
I think you got your priorities straight because coaching staff is so important.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be a big plus right there.
Absolutely. There were times last year where we were really struggling and having 1 or 2 coaches on a practice field is just it's not a way to succeed. It's not a way to succeed at all. So we filled it out as fast as we could with quality coaches that know what they're doing. And I wish we had some more experience in a few areas, but we'll give it our best shot this year, that's for sure.
Coach Joe Ewing of the North Newton Spartans. Good luck on Friday, Coach.
Thank you, sir.
See you next week.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, we'll be back with more here from Arnie's Pizzeria. You are watching the 3KG Coaches Kage Show.
Hi, this is Chuck Clark with the Underwood Insurance Agency, formerly Preferred Insurance Group. Are you tired of being sacked every month with your auto insurance bill? Do you feel you just pay your premium to your agent and never hear from them? We at the Underwood Insurance Agency work with over 10 insurance carriers to get you our best rate and coverage we can, and we pride ourselves on serving our customers like they are our family. We are conveniently located in Remington and Lafayette. We can be reached at underwoodagency.com. Reach out to us to score big savings.
The place to go for great food is Our Place in Brook, located at 127 West Main Street. Our Place is a restaurant where families and friends in the local community gather and enjoy a home-cooked meal at an affordable price. Our menu features a wide variety of dishes to suit all tastes, from our famous tenderloins to burgers, soups, salads, seafood, and more. Hours are Tuesday through Saturday from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. and Sunday from 6 until 2. So if you're looking for great food, stop by Our Place in Brook or call 219-275-2208.
Midwest Contractor Services of Rensselaer, with over 15 years of experience, offers both insulation and gutter services for new construction and existing homes in Jasper, Newton, Lake, and Porter counties. You could save money and lower energy bills by adding more insulation to your house. New insulation project? Let Midwest Contractor Services offer you a custom insulation package that fits your needs. Leaves in your gutter? Let us give you a price on leaf protection products that really work and are affordable. Call Marty or Mark at Midwest Contractor Services today at 219-866-0755 and get an estimate for your project.
Founded in 1931, Community State Bank in Brook is your community bank. We specialize in relationship banking while offering the technology required to meet your modern banking needs. Community State Bank is the area leader in new construction loans and home mortgages. Our lenders know small business and have products to meet your farm and business needs. We're available to get to know you and your needs today at 224 West Main in Brook or by calling 219-275-2441.
Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
All right, Bill Kay here with our ace technician, Scotty Miller. And I want to wrap it up from Arnie's Pizza. We're burning the midnight oil a little bit, but had a lot of fun. We had all of our coaches come out and another great show. Looking forward to a great season coming up here and a lot of big games. And the biggest of them all will be the Cracker Barrel on Friday, Rensselaer at Kankakee Valley. Also, remember, hey, we've got a couple of volleyball games that we're going to bring you. Hopefully, as long as our Sports King can rebound a little bit. He's under the weather right now, and if he'll bounce back by Monday and Tuesday, we've got games South Newton at Tri-County and also KV at Rensselaer on Tuesday. So we'll be bringing you those about a 6:45 game time, pregame for both nights. Not exactly sure because they play, depends on how lengthy JV game. In fact, the first night I think we have a freshman game too before to lead in. Okay, so again, thanks all the coaches here for a great show tonight. Thanks Scotty Miller, and get well, Bobby. And for my partner Scotty Miller, is Bill Kay saying good night, everybody.
The proceeding was a presentation of 3KG Community Broadcasting.